Amazing. Perfect. Okay, this video is what it's like running a marketing agency in 2026. Your boy should say an AI marketing agency, but whatever, man. Okay, cool. So first thing first is this was not my idea. This was Ayman Arab's idea. So I put shout to my nigga for the idea. Shout out to him. I've spoken to this guy a little bit. He seemed like a real gentleman. I don't know him personally, but we had a little bit of back and forth, and he seemed like a really nice guy. So I want to give him a shout out. Thank you very much for this. It's been 2 years since this video, so I want to just share my experience, what it's been like, things I've learned, and just, yeah, let's get into it. Cool. So my timeline. So I started running my agency in 2024. And I've been very transparent about this. I had a lot of insecurities, a lot of issues that I went through scaling it, and just yeah, trials and tribulations, really. So the first 3 months, I was highly insecure, unsure about my business, constantly worried, second guessing everything, and I didn't truly believe in my ability to scale the business whatsoever. I think this is important to talk about because what we see on the internet is the big numbers, the Stripe screenshots, the Hormozis, the Grant Cardones, and these are people that are extremely good at business, and I think they're admirable, and what they do and the way they go about business is excellent. But when you're starting, especially coming from a 9-to-5 background, you can feel pretty inadequate fairly quickly. So that was something that I struggled big time with. I still have my insecurities, but I've been able to motor through a lot of them, and that came from a lot of work and undeniable proof that I am who I say I am. Next thing was working like a slave and constantly working 15-hour plus days, but getting very little done. This was a really, really, really big problem for me. And in 2026, it's been something that I've tried very, very, very hard to iron out of my business process, my personality, etc. I've always been someone that's prided myself on outworking other people because you can just get to places where other people won't because you just do work. So I think it's important to constantly, well, not constantly, I think it's important to say to yourself, I'm gonna work as hard as I can, but look, I need balance. I need to be able to do the high leverage activities. I need to attack the bottleneck, not just do endless work. The next thing is can't close anyone. So I had no clients whatsoever when I first started. Now, everyone has no clients when they first start, but bro, it took me a while. It took me a long time to learn to close people. Now, I can close whatever the fuck I want, but it took me some time to get there. Next thing is making endless mistakes. Dumb mistakes being made daily. Sales processes, sales assets, in outbound, in inbound, in my landing pages. If there was a mistake to be made, Murphy's Law, anything that can go wrong will go wrong. I was a mistake merchant, okay? That's what I was doing. So then 6 to 9 months in, I was still very insecure, had tons of imposter syndrome, unsure what I'm doing. Then I was stuck in fulfillment. I wasn't editing, but I was scripting, doing the strategy. And everyone, when people talk about running a marketing agency, it's all like the numbers and the sexy and oh my God, dude, there's so much work that goes into running a successful marketing agency. And then one day you're doing fulfillment, and then you're doing operations, then you have to hire someone, and then that person's shit, and then you've got to fire them, and then you've got to go back to fulfillment, and you've got to do... And it takes time to be able to balance all of those levers. So then the next thing is I was still making endless mistakes, okay? Still making dumb mistakes damn near every day. And that's okay because I was learning. Things I did correctly. So it was good that I worked like a slave because it gave me the confidence to, well, not even the confidence, but it allowed me to improve, and that gave me more confidence. The next thing is I spent every second learning new business information. This was almost a little bit negative and to my detriment, but I just was constantly consuming new information, trying to improve, trying to become a better business person. And the next thing is I invested in myself as much as possible with real money. When people talk about investing in themselves, yes, reading books, etc., but like sometimes you've got to put up the coin. Sometimes you've got to actually pay the money in order to see that progress. And online gurus will say this, and I think because a lot of online gurus that have more shady personal brands, not going to name any names, have used these tactics to get people to invest, and then maybe the program's been bad. But it's actually true. You do actually have to part with your hard-earned money in order to sometimes go to the next level because you need to learn that new skill or overcome that bottleneck. So it's important to actually put up real money to improve. The next thing is I refuse to fucking lose. Look in my soul when I tell you this, okay? I didn't want to lose. I really, really, really wanted to win. I wanted to win so bad. And in sports, there's this concept called the will to win. And when I was learning about sports psychology when I was in school, like, remember me and my best friend at the time, we would kind of laugh at this concept and be like, the will to win, but it is actually real. It's the things that somebody is willing to do and endure that other people won't do in order to get where they want to get to. It's as simple as that. And because I was willing to honestly and truly do anything, it set me apart from the other people in my space. And I think a lot of me scaling has literally just come from me doing things that other people won't do, and doing things that people will be scared to do, and doing things that people will be tempted to do. And that has helped me so much in my life, okay? Cool. Now, let's talk about running an agency now. So I have a 10-person well-oiled team, between like 8 to 10 new hires, maybe getting rid of people, you know the deal. But it took months, many missed hires. I had one dude quit after working with me for 5 days because he didn't like how I would highlight the mistakes he was making. That is a fact. That was my project manager. He was shit. He was so bad. He was terrible. Now, yes, he was garbage, but it's also my fault for hiring a moron. Why am I allowing a moron into my company? Would you allow a moron to be in your company? You shouldn't. Would you date a moron? Would you marry a moron? Would you become best friends with a moron? Of course you wouldn't. So it's partly your fault. If anything, it's all your fault. So it's completely my fault for hiring a moron. Hired a dude who lost me a massive client. That's another thing. I hired a dude who lost me a massive client. He's pretty well known in the info space as well. No client fulfillment from me. I do not edit videos. I do not do the strategy, none of that. I've trained my team members to do it. My SOPs are thorough, okay? I put tons of effort into training, into building documentation that allows people to go in and do their job effectively. And that was so important for me to figure out because I can't be doing script writing and editing. That will not scale my business. I have to hire other people to do that, okay? Cool, that's why we have employees. Then focus on outreach and making content. Especially in February of 2026, I am focusing on just those two things. Purely focus on driving leads into the system and making more money, not doing client work. If you are the best editor of all time, that is amazing. But you need to coach other people and train other people to be able to edit just like you. Because editing more videos is not going to get you more clients unless you're getting a shit ton of referrals. And let's be real, 99.999999999% of us aren't doing that. So let's do some outreach and let's do some content. That'll get us some more clients. Then the next thing is make more money than ever before and have more freedom. As I've spoken about ad nauseum, I literally worked like a dog, worked like a slave, worked like Kunta Kinte, if you know who that is, jokes. And I didn't have that many clients. And now I work less because I focus on the high leverage activities. So for the first time, I make more money than in the past, but I have total location freedom, okay? It's a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful thing to be able to work from wherever the hell I want and make money and have happy clients, okay? But it took a ton of work, a ton of blood, sweat, and tears. Learning new skills. So this is very, very important in 2026 running an agency. An agency forces you to learn many skills and perfect them. Copywriting, operations, AI and technology, leadership, bottleneck analysis, offer creation, sales, networking, which is severely underrated. The idea that you can learn one skill, become good at it, and have a successful agency is complete horseshit. You need to be learning new things and getting better at them too. There will be areas which you are weak in. My current weakness is AI and technology, which is hilarious because my old job was being a software engineer. But I am so bad at technology and AI in my business. It's one of the main things I need to get better at. Now, obviously, I need to drive revenue to the business, but like, I probably need to spend more time learning about like AI tools to make my client fulfillment better and make my margins higher. It's such a high leverage activity. And the thing is that no matter who you are, the bottleneck's gonna change. Maybe it's an operations bottleneck, maybe it's a leadership bottleneck, maybe it's a sales bottleneck, maybe it's a marketing bottleneck. I didn't put marketing because I put it as offer creation, but you get the idea, right? Cool. Murphy's Law. This is so important when you're running an agency because you'll be surprised at what can go wrong. You genuinely will be surprised. If you don't know Murphy's Law is a law or an adage stating anything that can go wrong will go wrong. And it's actually facts. And it's your job to augment this and have as little things go wrong as humanly possible. The next thing is, this law is 100% true in every business. Story time. The story I can tell you here is that one of our, I think I spoke about this. I had a project manager who literally joined the team for 5 days, and he struggled to delegate so bad that he quit, and I had no project manager, and I had to go back to doing it myself. And on top of that, in fact, no, I hadn't paid him, but I still got to give him like $300 because he worked a week. Total waste of money. Wasted my time, wasted his time, complete waste. You will hire people that will suck. Clients will churn. People will be unhappy. Team members will be shit. Murphy's Law in business. It's difficult. But, excuse me, that's what we signed up for. The next thing, and this is so important when it comes to running an agency in 2026, is outbound and inbound, to be fair, is king. 95% of your time should be making it rain. If your business isn't making $100,000 a month, follow these steps. Grab a kitchen timer and turn it to 4 hours. Advertise until the timer is up. You can do warm outbound, cold outbound, content, or paid ads. Don't do all of them. Just pick one until you get to 100K a month. I would start with outbound or content because they're the cheapest to get started, aka free. When the 4-hour timer is up and the day is done, do it again tomorrow. That's literally my whole 2026. Cool. Now, this image kind of annoys me because as human beings, we want to do new stuff. I don't know why. This probably is like an evolutionary thing, but from like an evolutionary perspective, we all want to be doing new things. We all want to be working on the new tactic. But the new tactic isn't going to scale us to 100K a month. It's the outbound, it's the building your authority, it's doing the outbound, of like cold email. It's doing the inbound of like LinkedIn or YouTube. That is literally what's going to drive the revenue. It's not a new VSL, a new landing page, a new offer, client fulfillment, or other peripheral bullshit. I literally was driving my motorbike and I was like, I probably should do another VSL. And I was like, that's not a bottleneck. I just didn't want to do outbound. I just didn't want to do outreach. That's why this image kind of pisses me off. But it's completely and utterly plausible and correct. All you need to do is get more clients. Do not be a pagan. You know what's funny? This is almost me talking to myself. Like, this video is damn near me talking to myself as well as like talking to the viewer. Do not be a pagan. Obviously, there is a time and a place to do all of the above, but I'm talking if that has already been completed before. If you have a VSL and a landing page, that's good, and an offer that's closed cold traffic, and client fulfillment that's getting results, and all the other things are cool, do more outbound, make more content. Everything else is a waste of your time. Network effectively. So this is something I think is frankly underrated at this point. This is actually kind of underrated. Do not be scared to invest in yourself. You cannot be halfway in any area of life. I said every area of life. Nigga. In any area of life. Marriage, you can't be, if you're halfway into your marriage, you better start getting your visitation sorted to see your kids. The gym. You think this is a halfway in bicep, my nigga? No, it's an all-in bicep. Your business, you can't be halfway in. You have to be all in into your business, okay? So do not be scared to invest in yourself. Do not be scared to go to that networking event that costs a bit of money, okay? I went to a networking event the other day. It was $50 in Indonesia, and I was like, oh, do I really want to go? It's great. I met a bunch of really excellent people. But if I hadn't gone, and then one of them, I'm gonna pitch one of them, and hopefully he'll become my client. But if I hadn't gone, I wouldn't be able to pitch the Don. So I'm gonna think about. Take myself an example. Non-financial win, but a big one regardless. The second screenshot is me in March joining Client Ascension from the Get Clients challenge. This is that, okay? The first screenshot is 7 months later on an AIAA webinar challenge talking about how my business has completely changed. A real full circle moment. Thanks a ton to literally everyone in CA for making it such an awesome community, and then they didn't tell me about the suit, okay? Because they're morons. Think about this. If I hadn't invested into myself with real money, I paid these guys real money, I wouldn't have been able to get as far as I did, okay? Putting up real money and doing everything you can to win will lead to big changes in your life, okay? Take this in. I was confident enough to leave my job and actually got fired because I was consuming this content. Now this guy is my friend. I've never met him personally, but I talk to him on Slack all the damn time. If I hadn't invested in myself, how the hell would I have been able to come this far, okay? Another thing, this is him and I talking. I literally wouldn't have been able to get this far if it weren't for me investing in myself, if it weren't for me putting up real cash. Do not be afraid to invest in yourself. Do not be afraid to network and put yourself in those rooms and in those circles of people that are doing the things that you want to do. Amazing. Please take this in. I joined the program and now I'm a coach in the program. And I'm now a coach in this program, okay? This is me joining the program. This is me on the webinar of the program. And then this is me, a coach in the program. You have to invest in yourself. You have to. You have to invest in yourself. Amazing. Now, this is not normal. I am well and truly that nigga. Now, obviously I'm being silly. All praise to the Most High. But seriously, this is not a normal result. And I'm not saying that you're going to be able to network with people this big, that quickly. I'm a very, very lucky individual. But the point is, if you work really hard, you'll be gobsmacked where you can get to, okay? Amazing. And that's pretty much everything I can tell you about running a marketing agency in 2026. It is brutal. There are mistakes, there are things that are going wrong, but I'm so grateful for the fact that I can improve as a business person, make more money, and continue to improve my thinking, continue to solve more and more difficult problems, and utilize my creativity skills and utilize my thinking and problem solving skills to just realize all the things I dreamed of and all the things that are important to me, which is making more money, which is becoming a better man, which is building this big business that gives me so much purpose. It's such a blessing, such a privilege. Amazing. If you're running a marketing agency, if you're building your business, I'd love to learn about the things that you're going through and the things that you've learned. Write in the comments. I'll be responding to all of you. Anyways, appreciate you watching. I'll see you for the next one. Bye now.